It's officially loose curl season, and we're gonna mix it up with this faux mullet style. Let's go. So I'm starting on freshly washed, conditioned, and stretched hair. I was able to get my hair stretched out by just air drying it and some chunky twists overnight, and then I combed it out really good to get it stretched out like it is. We're gonna be doing a faux mullet style, so I'm gonna kind of taper the sides using some flat twists. And I pre-parted it so that it would be even on both sides. So you can kind of see what I did there. And I'm saying mullet because I didn't shape the back into the full, I'm saying mullet because I didn't taper the back. So it's only tapered in the front to kind of give it that faux mullet look. You'll see once I get there. But we're going to use my Braid and Lock gel to really smooth down my flat twist, and you're going to see it's going to get really shiny and flat. If you want to purchase my Braid and Lock gel, there's so many great uses for it. You can use it to flatten your roots for pretty much any style. You can get it at kellyloganhair.com. So I'm starting out by just putting some of the Braid and Lock gel on my roots, and then I'm gonna comb it in with a really fine tooth comb to really work it in. Generally when you get those flakes, it's because you're just kind of letting the Braid and Lock gel sit on top of your hair. You really want to make sure you comb it in and work it in so that you're not getting that buildup. And also you want to make sure that you're molding it into place. So wherever you want your twist to sit, just make sure you comb it into place and it'll sit exactly how you want it. And so I'm just kind of going to do this one in the middle, and I want to make sure I put it on the underside as well so that both sides are frizz free. Another helpful tip for avoiding flakes is to make sure that you start out on clean hair. If you already have buildup in your hair, it's just going to make it worse if you add product on top of it. So start out on freshly washed hair and you shouldn't have any problems with any kind of flaking or buildup. Another helpful tip is to add oil once you're done with your style. Just top it off with a little bit of oil and it'll help to break up any of that white cast that may form. I chose to do just a simple wash and go in the middle. So I just define my curls using the mousse, but you really could do anything. You could do a twist out in the middle. You can also do a rod set just to get the kind of curl that you like. You can do a braid out. So depending on what type of curl you like, that's going to determine what you do to the middle, but get creative and just make it your own. You can do it on fully saturated hair, or you can just go for a more fluffy look with less product. So take the creative initiative. Now if you see right here, it has that kind of scalpy look because when I twisted it, I guess my nails kind of broke up that part. But I'm going to show you a little trick to fix that and make your twist look a lot more smooth once I finish getting this rubber band on. And make sure you slick your edges the way that you want before you put that rubber band on. It's a lot easier to manipulate your edges before you get it set in the style. So just slick it the way you want before you twist it up. It'll make your life a little bit easier. So right here, I'm just gonna comb in that little space that was separated so that it has a neater and more consistent look. It had that little gap, so I just combed it right on in and good as new. Now we're going to start working on defining the curls. I already did this one side and now we're going to work on this side. Ultimately, I decided that I was going to do Bantu knots so that it can have a more pronounced mullet look. So I'm kind of just wasting my time here, but I guess they were a little bit slicker in the end once I defined these curls. Now let's talk about product choice when you want to define your curls. If you use solely a mousse, I usually recommend this for people with looser curls. If you have really loose curls and your hair is weighed down by heavier gels, or it just leaves your hair looking thin as wind, use a mousse instead. It's gonna give you more volume, but you're still gonna get that curl definition and hold. For me, it's not enough as a product alone to give me the definition and longevity that I like. I like my hair and I don't mind my hair being crunchy, so I always use my Max Hold Styling Jelly when I'm trying to define my curls because I have a more afro texture hair. So I didn't do it on camera, but once I finished coating my hair in the mousse, I went behind this and did my Max Hold Styling Jelly because I didn't want to have to redo my hair in the morning. My daughters have looser curls, and so I can use a mousse on their hair and it'll be just fine. Also, if you have finer hair, it'll work for you. If you have low density hair, a mousse would generally work for you. But for me, my hair just wants to fluff up after. And you know, if you have a last minute situation and you need to go ahead and do your hair really fast, then a mousse covers a lot of your hair in a short amount of time. So it will be a good option, but just don't expect to wear the same style the entire week. I want my hair to last throughout the week. Also, if you have a problem with your hair being crunchy, this is not going to leave your hair crunchy at all. It's going to give you that lightweight hold. So if you have a problem with crunchy hair, the mousse would be the way to go. A couple things to keep in mind when you're defining your curls is that you always want to make sure you're combing the product through with a brush with a lot of bristles. So this brush you can get as well on my website, kellyloganhair.com, and this is going to help you to work in the product. You'll notice that if you just kind of try to use your fingers to work it in, it doesn't really get your curls going as well as if you were to use a brush with a lot of bristles. So use a brush with a lot of bristles, obviously not like a bristle brush, I'm sorry. Use a brush with a lot of teeth. There we go, that's a better way to phrase that. But yeah, don't use a wide tooth comb because it's not going to work the product in as well. And you also want to make sure that you're working in small sections. You can use the shingling method that you see me using. You can kind of do the praying hands method. You can do individual coils, however you want to do it. Just make sure you're working in smaller sections so that you get product on all of your hair. And you see, there's nothing particularly wrong with these curls. I like a fluffy wash and go. The problem is it's not gonna last as long as it would if I were to put the Max Hold Styling Jelly on there. Now, if I use a mousse for my perm rod set, that's a whole different story. You can do, if you have type 4 hair, use the mousse for something like a set style, like a twist out or a braid out, where the thing is you want something to keep your hair in place as it dries because it's going to be able to set your hair in place. But the problem with using it for a wash and go, when you use gel, the gel is heavy enough and it puts a heavy enough coating on your hair to keep it to keep the curls formed as it dries. So the mousse is so lightweight that it's not going to be able to do that. So you have to have your hair set in place using a twist or a braid or a perm rod until it's able to dry and form that cast. It may not make sense, but I promise you it works. So if you have type 4 hair, I recommend that you only use a mousse for those specific styles where you have your hair set in place using a braid, a rod, or a twist. It's also good for rehydrating your mini braids, mini twists, if you want to get those curls going for those styles and just bring your braids back to life. I was using this the entire time I had mini braids in for the entire summer, and this was kind of my go-to when I wanted to just kind of help my braids to fall when I would wake up and they were just kind of stiff. This and my hair milk, I lived on those the entire summer. All right, so I'm just doing a little bit more defining with my mousse. But as I said, don't forget, I am going to go back behind this one and define all of my entire head with my Max Hold Styling Jelly so that this has a little bit more longevity. But as you see, that top part is not, the curls look totally fine. It's just that they won't have any type of longevity. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be coming with more videos during the holiday season. I'm going to have some exciting promotions, so make sure you guys have your notifications on so that you don't miss those holiday sales. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, enjoy.